Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from this beautiful day. How are you all doing? How are you doing today? The third day of June. Can you believe that we're already in June? It seems, I don't know, to me, it's like, wow, this year is already gone. Today is the third day of June. Before you know it, we're back in December. And we're saying Happy New Year once again. So, how are you doing? How has it been with you? Please do let me know that you can hear me. Okay, I can see that we are live on Facebook. Um, just want to confirm that we are live everywhere we're supposed to be. Today, we are also going live on LinkedIn. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Um, the TikTok live was not quite working, so I had to just let that go. Okay, I can see we're live on Facebook, but I can't see Instagram yet. Okay, let's see. I think we are live on LinkedIn. I want to believe that we are live, so I'm trying to confirm the LinkedIn. Okay, yes, we're live on LinkedIn. So awesome. It's only Instagram that I can't see. I really don't know what's wrong with Instagram, but I mean, it's fine. I will not worry if that one does not come up. Okay, so yeah, welcome to Growth Habits. Once you join, do let me know that you are here. Let me know where you're joining me from. Um, Today is session 109, and we're going to be talking about goal setting and habit alignment. As aligning the goals that you're setting with your habits, or aligning your habits with your goals, actually, the other way around. And we're just going to look briefly at how to build habits that will serve your vision, your ultimate purpose, your ultimate vision, how to build the habits that will serve those that purpose. We are today we are having a special guest once again. We're having Constance Agu, who is a John Maxwell certified coach. She'll be coming up very soon, but let me do a recap. Okay, so we started this whole series on effective habits um, in session 102. And the theme for that whole month was starting strong, laying the foundation for effective habits. That was in the month of April. So our first session was the science of habits, how habits are formed and why habits actually matter. We looked at the habit loop that talks about cues, routines, and rewards. You have a cue, you have the routine that you do that meets up with that cue, and then I don't know what is beeping on my laptop. Okay, something is beeping and distracting me. Okay, I don't know what it was, but it's okay. All right, so the key takeaway from that was that your brain craves patterns, and what you keep repeating is what you're going to reinforce. So your brain craves patterns and it wants to form those patterns. And it doesn't take a break from doing that. The second session in this series, we talked about bad habits and practical steps that you can apply to stop those bad habits, because they are what is holding you back truly, is those bad habits. And we looked at different triggers and how to replace those habits, because you can't just break a bad habit, you have to replace it. Just breaking it does not work. You have to replace it with something else, something that still gives you the same reward. Remember the habit loop, something that gives you the same reward that the bad habit um, was giving you. The next session, we talked about atomic habits in action, the power of tiny, consistent steps. On that session, we had Coach Ify come on. She's a stress management coach. She came to talk about us and she walked us through, how micro changes, tiny changes, small changes that on their own, they look insignificant. But as they build up, they compound into major growth for you. We looked at stress management and habit tracking for real life routines, how these things work. The key takeaway from that session was that small is powerful when it is consistent. Small is powerful when it is consistent. So that was that session, session 105. We talked about morning routines for a successful day. And on that day, we had a guest also, Jennifer Mike Alicha, and she talked about how, creating intentional morning routines will set the pace for the rest of your day. How you start your day will set the pace, it sets the tone for how you will also finish. So that was what we talked about in session 105. Then the second month, being the month of May, we talked about building discipline. That being able to build strength for consistency and focus. That was the general theme of that month. The first session, session 106 in that series, we talked about building consistency itself. And we focused on the ability to show up daily for even when your motivation is low, being able to have a rhythm that works. So we talked about that. And the key takeaway was that motivation fades. Motivation fades, but consistency is built by commitment. So commit to showing up daily for that habit you're trying to form, for that goal you're trying to achieve, for that vision you're trying to walk through. Okay. All right. So that was that. The next session was 107, mindset habits, training your thoughts for long-term success. And we talked about limiting beliefs, self-sabotage, and renewing your mind with the truth. Okay. Did we really do that session? I'm beginning to think now. The next session was time management habits. That is mastering your schedule and priorities. Coach Ify came back for that session. Um, yeah. Coach Ify came back. Okay, yes, we did the mindset habit. That was when we had Constance Agu first. Yes. She was the person that talked to us about mindset habits, training your thoughts for long-term success. And we talked about limiting beliefs, self-sabotage, renewing your mind with truth. And the key takeaway from that session was that what you think drives what you do. So you need to guard your mind so that you can grow your life. Um, then there was something. Can I even find where I wrote that thing down? There was something Constance said that I thought I wrote down in my notes, but I can't seem to find it. Okay, I can't seem to find it, but this was just generally what we talked about that day. And last week, we had Coach Ify back. And we talked about time management habits. We had Coach Ify back and we talked about time management habits, mastering your schedule, priorities. We discussed, time blocking, eliminating distractions, and we highlighted that using your time purposefully brings clarity, brings a peace. Key takeaways from that session is if you don't manage your time, you don't actually manage your time, you manage yourself within your time. I think that was a key takeaway from that session. And as I told us today, This month of June, our theme for the whole month will be living with purpose, aligning our habits to vision and long-term success. And so I'm going to bring on Constance right now. She's already here. Oh, wow. You're in your car.
There is no, we don't have a, I mean, we had an issue with our office space that we are trying to fix. So for now, we are managing a general office.
Oh, okay.
So I can't stay there. And right now, in the hall, in the event hall, a meeting is going on. A
Oh,
very large meeting is going on. So even if I use my speaker here, which has
mm,
a noise, whatever,
canceling.
it still will not work because it captures human voices. So I
Okay.
just have to come out at the car park here to do what I have to do.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome, welcome. You can
Thank
go
you.
ahead. I've done the recap, I've done the introduction. So the floor,
Ah, okay.
yes, the floor is yours. You can go ahead with your session.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, viewers, and I appreciate. Thank you for being here. For you to make our time to be here this period, even though some of us have already gone for lunch, it means there is something extra you want to get, and we believe that by the end of the whole of the sessions in the month of June and the ones that have passed, somebody will get clarity and direction. Okay. So today we are going to be looking at goal setting and vision alignment. For those of you who are just joining, my name is Constance Agu. So we are going to be looking at goal setting and vision alignment. And the topic I've been given to speak on is how to build habits that serve your vision. How to build habits that serve your vision. You know, this is a very powerful topic. When I saw it the very first day you gave it to me, it's a very powerful topic because a lot of persons who are, I won't say they are visionless. They have an idea of what they want to become or what they want to do, but they don't know how to serve it. They don't know how to bring it to life. Okay, so me, I like to break down things so that we can be able to understand. So I'll give us like a step by step explanation to. I mean, a breakdown of what goal setting is, because I'm looking at how to build habits that serve your vision.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking at what vision is. We have looked at what habit is the last time I spoke, and that there are tiny little bits that we do daily that helps us to get to where we want to get to, depending on if they are good habits or if they are bad habits. So now, I want to believe that for you to make a decision to build habits that will help your vision, it means you already discovered you. You already know who you are because you need to have a level of understanding of who you are and lead yourself in a certain way or to a certain degree before you want to know, make decisions that will help you build habits that will serve that vision. So it means that you already discovered you. It means that you have a vision already of who you want to become or what you want to do. You have a mental picture of where you want to be. Okay. I also want to understand. Also want to believe that you understand that you need to break down that vision into goals. Remember, this is how to build habits that serve your vision. So you need to break. I want to believe that you understand how to um, uh, break your goals, put your goals into simple steps that will help you to serve that vision. I also want to believe that at the end of the day, by the time we finish, you will learn how to build these habits that will serve your vision. Now, what is vision? Vision simply means, sorry, I don't have a very good placeholder for this, but I just hope that this will work like this. This is something I've been struggling with since. Maybe I'll just hold it. What do
Okay.
you think?
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's fine. Yeah.
I'll just hold it. So, yeah, what is vision? Vision is having a mental picture of tomorrow, a mental picture of where you want to be. Vision is usually the big picture. A vision can be scary sometimes.
Mhm.
Okay, so vision is the big picture, is a mental picture of where you want to be, is a mental picture of how who you want to become. For instance, as a single lady, you have a mental picture of the kind of husband you want to marry. You have a mental picture of the kind of home you want to live in with your husband. You have a mental picture of the kind of family you want to raise, maybe two boys, two girls, or three girls, one boy, with a lovely husband that works in a certain place, that has plenty of money, and you too, you also, that is vision. That is like a family kind of vision that you want for yourself. Okay. Now let's use that as an example of where we are going to. This is a mental picture of what you want as a single lady. You're not yet married, but this is something you're thinking in your head of where you want to be being married. Okay. And you also have this mental picture of living long, lasting long with your spouse, and till old age, good old age. You have a mental picture of the kind of school your children want to go, will go. You have a mental picture of the kind of university you want them to attend, of the kind of village you want to build, of the kind of travels you want to do with your family. You have a mental picture of all
Mhm.
of that. Now, this is just a mental picture. They are so lovely. They are so what's the English language now? They are so lovely that if you paint it to anyone, anyone will want to follow. Anyone will want to key into that vision. That is vision. That is the big picture. Now, the question is, how do you birth this vision? What do you need to do to serve this vision? What do you need to do to serve this vision? Uh, now, I want us to also understand that for you to serve this vision, you need to pen down your goals, which brings us to what is goal setting.
Mhm.
Goal setting are actionable plans. They are the plans that you have put in place as a single lady or as a single man. They are the plans that you have put in place to be able to bet that mental picture you had into life. Now, for those of us watching this now, if you're a single man or a single woman, as I'm using this instance now, I'm sure you're going to pick one or two powerful insights here, because this topic or what I'm saying now is not something I knew before I got married. So you hearing it now is a privilege, and if you will run with it, and then that's it for you. So now, goal setting is the actionable steps that we have put in place to be able to bet the mental picture we had in our head. Now you say you want to be the number one leadership coach in the whole world in the next 10 years, and you want to impact like 1 billion people in your lifetime. That is a very big vision. Now, what are the actionable steps? What are your goals? What are your goals, that the goals that you have set to achieve that? That's what we're talking about here. So that you can be able to serve this vision. So I'm trying to let us to understand what it entails. Now, on the family, we still boils down to the family part. You want to first of all grow yourself as a single lady, as a single man. What do I mean by growing yourself? When we mention, most people are in a hurry to just get money. Getting money, creating wealth is not all of it. Even if you want to create wealth in the most simplest way, which I think none of the ways to create wealth is even simple, you still have a growth path that you must align to. Okay. So now, as a single lady, you first of all you have to learn to be open to grow. You have to feed yourself, feed your mental what's it called now? Your mental well-being. You need to feed it. You need to feed your intellect. You need to feed your spiritual life. How do you do all of that? You grow. You need to be open to learning. You need to be open to studying. You need to be open to mentorship. You need to be open to accountability partner.
Mhm.
Okay. You need to be open to training. So now you want to build that beautiful kind of family when you're married. You want to build that kind of beautiful kind of family. What are you doing? Have you ever read any book on relationship? That is number one action plan. As that is one goal you should put for yourself. How many relationship books have you read, or would you want to read before you get married? Do you plan to be financially prepared? You want to grow financially as a lady or as a man? Yes, let me just concentrate on ladies here. As a lady, you want to grow financially, you want to build wealth, some kind of level of wealth, even before you marry, so that you don't heap all the issues of marriage on the man, on your spouse. Because what it will do is it might breach that mental picture that you have for yourself. Okay? Because marriage is a full package. That's one. Two, as a single, do you see parenting summits? Do you see parenting conferences? And you tell yourself, I'm not yet married, I don't have kids, so there's no need to attend. It's a very big error.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very big error.
Yeah.
Do you see trainings on that has to do with leadership, that has to do with personal growth, like what you're doing right now, and you tell yourself, I've already grown. No, I've already grown. I don't need. I can lead myself. Who told you? Until they ask you to do something consistently for 1 month or even 1 week before you now know before you now know if you're growing or not, or if you have grown. Do you understand? Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
As a single lady, what plans do you have to make a certain amount of money every other year as savings, as investment? These are actionable. These are goals that you need to set for yourself. If you're planning to get married in 2 years or in 1 year, as God willing, what are you doing to develop yourself? So those things, that mental picture you want to see at the end of the day. Attending parenting summit is one of your goals. Attending leadership conferences is one of your goals. Attending personal growth training is one of your goals. Maybe learning a skill is another of your goal. Things like that. Reading books on relationship and marriage is another goal. Attaching yourself to a family whose marriage is already working. I mean, you've looked at it over time and it is something that you love. That is what the kind of mental picture you're building. You're seeing it in this family, real life. You attach yourself to them so that you're learning. They become your mentor. You open up yourself to them to mentor you. These are the goals that you need to set for yourself and ensure that you meet these goals. So that that bigger vision of a lovely, cute family who is without issues and everything is just okay, 90%, because it can never be 100%. I tell you, I kid you not, it can't be 100%, but
Yeah.
at least 90% or even 80. If I do 60%, then you're in heaven. Yes.
Yes.
So, so these are the actionable steps you need to take. These are the goals you need to set for yourself. When I see young ones like this, I'm still young, as you can see. We are still very, very young. So when I see younger people, when I see younger people, I am like, I wish I can be able to coordinate these ones, tell them what they need to know and know how they need to go about it. Now, if you're 18 watching this right now, if you're 18 watching this, you have time. You have time. And the time I know you have should be maybe 5 years. At 20, 24, probably you should be married. That's me talking now. So at 30, as one of your goals, so at 30, probably you would have finished having your kids, like our mom did. By 30, 28, 30, they finish having their kids. So
Mm.
you just grow with your kids. You see this lovely family. It's a thing of joy. Okay? So, but if you have passed that age, it's not a problem at all. Concentrate on yourself, pour into yourself such that you become the center of attraction of the kind of caliber of a spouse that you need. Nobody goes to where there is nothing.
True.
In this, our 21st century, nobody goes to where there is nothing. If you're a lady and you want to get married, there's a beautiful picture you have seen in your head and you're working, you're working to get. Know that the man that you want to go and marry in this 21st century is not ready 100% to bear everything from beginning to end, including you, your children, your mother, your father. No. Except the person, the lady, or this yes, the lady is not growing. Because no, I don't think any lady in this 21st century will want to be at a place where somebody is providing for you 247. So
Yeah.
that being said, that is the goal. We have talked about the vision, the mental picture. We have talked about the goal, the actionable steps you need to set up for you to be able to serve that. Now, what is habit? You won't tell me that you're looking for there's a mental picture you have about marriage, and you set the goals, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're going to you're attending the conferences, you're attending the summits, you're reading books, you're attached to a mentor, this and that. Yes, all well and good. But how consistent are you? How consistent are you? Because habits, like I said, are those tiny, let me read it out again. Say habits are the tiny steps, actions we take daily and consistently, either in the right direction or in the wrong direction, negatively or positively to us. So you won't tell me that you're looking at this picture of a very awesome family and you have put down some goals, but you're not taking those little steps that will help you achieve it. You're not building that habits that will help you to achieve it. Habits like yielding yourself when you need to yield yourself to study. Habits like yielding yourself when you have set up an alarm, or yes, when you have accepted to attend an event and nothing is distracting you. One friend does not come and tell you, there's one bash happening somewhere, let's go, instead of this, you're not yet married now, why are you going for parenting summit? I beg, babe,
Mhm.
come, you head in another direction. So what kind of habits are you building? What kind of habit are you building for yourself that will help you serve that vision, that will help you complete that goal? All the goals you have mentioned, my dear, you need to be consistent in them.
True.
You need to be committed to them, else you might miss out. Okay? This will bring me to the things that you need to do. How many more minutes do I have, please, before I know where I'm heading to? This is
You still have,
12:29.
yeah, you still have 30 minutes.
Okay.
Mm.
So the habits are those you know the consistency you put in what you said, in the picture you're looking at, and in the goals that you have broken down. The consistency you put in it, the commitment. How committed are you? The commitment that you put in it, the sincerity that you put in it, the character building, character molding habits that you put in it. You need to wake up by 5 a.m. and pray. Okay, 5 a.m. What happened? Okay, you need to be at a certain place at a certain time. What happened? Something else distracted you. Now, as a growing young girl, I had a journal from I can't tell from when. I had a journal where I journal things. That journaling is another consistent way, another committed way of putting down your little actions that you need to take on a daily basis.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that these things are easy. They're not easy. Sometimes you snap out of it unconsciously.
true.
Sometimes you just see yourself snapping out of it unconsciously. As you snap out, find your way and snap back in.
Exactly. Very
Yes.
important.
As you snap out, find your way and snap back. There was a time I snapped out of my study life.
Mm.
Yes, you are aware. By the time I snapped out of almost everything, life happened and I snapped out. I had my study room. I still have it till now. But I totally snapped out. But after a while, I started coming back gradually, and here we are today. So it can happen to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So don't tell yourself because I've snapped out and then that's it. No. As you snap out, find a way and come back, snap back in. Okay? So now, having said all of that, having described vision, having described goal setting, having described the habits that you need to build, you know, another habit that you need to build is resilience. You need to
Mm.
be resilient. Okay, you need to be resilient as you try to move, as you try to push. Remember, Satan does not dwell in anybody or in any place where there is nothing for him to gain. Satan doesn't dwell there. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't at all. So you need to build this spirit of resilience that shows that you keep on pushing, because things will come to distract you. Things will happen that will make you angry. Things will happen that will make you want to give up. You will see things on this our social media streets that you will be like, if this is how marriage is, me, I don't want again. No. You will
Mm.
even see things in your family that you'll be like, is this the marriage you're talking about? No,
Yeah.
this is not possible. My hairstylist told me 2 weeks ago when I went to, so she was telling me how she told her parents that she will not get married. Until now, she has not gotten married. What was the issue? A mental picture of what she knows about marriage around within her vicinity while growing up, from the parents, from the sisters, from the cousins, that none of them are getting married, that the ones that manage to get married, she's always the one that goes to separate, fight, and all the rest. So because of that, she
Mm.
built a mental picture of a bad marriage and told herself that she will not get married. And she doesn't want to get married. But right now she wants to get married. But I think there is time for all of these things. Okay? So you need to build that spirit of resilience in that, such that irrespective of what you see,
Mm.
irrespective of what is happening around you, know that you are unique. Your case is different. That it happened to Chioma does not mean that it will happen to Jane.
Exactly.
So you need to build that spirit of resilience. You need to be committed. You need to be intentional. Okay? So now, how do you then build the habit that serves your vision? How do you how do you gather this? How do you start? Number one, identify the kinds of habits you need to serve that vision. What kind of habit do you need to serve that vision? Like, as we are talking about raising a family, a particular kind of family, what kind of habit do you need as a single lady? Because now, let me give you a scenario. If you say you want that kind of family, you know that everything that you see in the physical is powered spiritually. How is your spiritual altar? Are you replacing your spiritual altar to going for parties here and there, going for nightclubs here and there? We are talking about how do you then build the habits that serve this vision. And we have used um, family as the kind of family you want to build as a case study.
Different. Yeah.
Now, if you want that kind of family, you have to power it spiritually first. You have to power it spiritually first. So, spiritually, what are you doing? That's number one. So you need to identify. So for you to go in that route now, number one, you need to identify the kind of habits. And for this family life, you need the spiritual aspect. You need to raise an altar. You even need to have a name for that man. You need to have names for those kids. You need to have this. You know, sometimes people will see you and will be like, maybe your younger ones might enter your room and see where you pray and see the kind of notes you make there. They will be like, Adana is crazy. She doesn't. Do you understand? So let you get to that point where they think you're crazy, but it's
Mm-hmm.
because they don't understand. Yeah. So identify the kind of habits. If it is wealth creation, we probably at the age of 30 you want to have a particular amount of money in your account, or every year you want to have a particular amount of money in your account. What identify the habits that will help you build that kind of wealth. For instance, you will not tell yourself like that, and then you are busy doing impromptu buying. You see hair of 300,000, piam, you buy.
Right.
You see you see shoe of 120,000, piam, you
You.
buy. You see, as in you unplanned, no budget for anything, no savings. You have not built that habit of you know getting your money and saving a particular portion, getting your money and investing a particular portion, getting
Mm-hmm.
your money and telling yourself this one is for me for my enjoyment, then getting your money and probably it's for family, this and that, and maybe some extras. You're not building that kind of habit. My sister, how you want to take happen? Now, my brother, how you want? It's not possible. Do you
True.
understand? So you need to identify the habits that you will build that will help you serve that vision.
Um,
Number two, create or generate a habit tracker. Create or generate a habit tracker. Because after everything, you finish talking all the talk you want to talk, finish writing the goals, finish telling yourself, okay, this one I will do, this one I will do that one, and there is no tracker, it may be difficult. Such that when you wake up in the morning, it's okay. Today I'm supposed to do this in the morning. I'm supposed to pray. Okay, I'm supposed to go to work. During my lunch period, I'm supposed to read this book. I'm supposed to read like 3 pages of this book. When I come back from work, I'm supposed to listen to this podcast. You might do it today. Do it tomorrow. The third day, you're forgetting it. I'm telling you. See, this is I'm telling you is that there are things that me have passed through. I've experienced. So everybody have gone through that route that you started without anything to hold on to. So build a habit tracker. You can do the paper one where you have probably a diary where you have put down number of days. That this month of June now you have day
mhm,
1 to day 30.
mhm,
Probably you are reading at so and so time. You put in a time slot. You can use Excel to do it. You can use your diary to do it. You can use a mental picture. Write down something. Use a very big plain sheet of paper. Write the things you want to do and the times that you want to do it, like a timetable. It's a
mhm.
habit tracker. Put it
Yes.
on your wall, depending on the one that works for you. If it's exercise that you want to be doing every morning before after praying. Once you finish praying, you take the prayer part. Exercise, you take the exercise part. You go to work. If you read in the afternoon, as you have said, when you come back in the evening, you tick that part that you have read. Just like that. That is habit tracker. That habit tracker will help you measure your progress.
Mm,
It will help you personally measure your progress. Okay? So you can use the electronic one where you have it in your phone. You can use Excel. I think Excel is just the best that you can use. Or you use a notepad like this. For this one, you'll be carrying it about. Or you use a plain sheet. It's a habit tracker. It's something simple. It's not difficult. Go
mm,
to YouTube or go to Google. You'll find one and prepare one the way you want it. And that's it. See that habit that we talked about? That is where you will now know whether the consistency you talked about, doing it consistently, the intentionality we talked about, being intentional in doing what you need to do, the commitment. It is that habit tracker that will tell you to just open up to you whether you're doing it or not. So that is that. Now, number three, be committed to it, be intentional about it. Do it even when you don't feel like, because there are days you wake up, your body is telling you everywhere around your body is shouting, no, 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 I cannot, I don't want, please, I want to rest.
mhm. Motivation will always win. Always.
Win, yes, motivation. uh, See, there are sometimes when the motivation is there, but I see that energy to stand up, that mental strength to just stand up and do what you need to do. Man, sometimes like this. So even if you're late, you rather do it late than don't doing it at
Don't
all.
do at all.
You rather go in late and do what you need to do than not doing it at all. Okay? So that's intentional, such that even if it is raining or it is cold and you need to go for an exercise, instead exercise inside your house. Sometimes as simple as wearing your socks, your shoe, exercise shoe. I'm telling you what me sometimes that thing disturbs me. I'm not I'm not uh, I'm not a superwoman.
Mhm,
Okay. Sometimes to even wear your tracksuit to exercise inside the house is a challenge.
mhm,
So that's why you need people around you. Which will bring me, I think, that should be the second to the last one. Okay, that's the next one. So which is why you will need accountability partner. Very, very important. Everybody have that one friend or that one sister that they can talk to. Everybody have that one friend, that one sister that they can talk to, that can hold them accountable, that they respect.
Mm.
that can tell them something and they do it. Not that one friend that anything goes. No, not that type. I'm not talking about that type. Okay. So you need to go. One of the things you need to do is to get an accountability partner. But I will prefer if that accountability partner is a paid one.
Okay.
Do you know why? Yes. Because the free accountability partner most times don't take it seriously. It only takes a mature mind to take it seriously.
Yeah.
But if you use your money, your hard earned cash, and pay someone to hold you accountable to do the things you need to do, my dear, at least you will score like 80% because you know that it is your money that is going if you're
It's
not
your
doing
money.
anything. It's your money that is going if you're not doing anything. So you need to get an accountability partner, preferably a paid accountability partner. I'm sure you do that. You hold people accountable.
Yes.
So you can pay her to hold you accountable. Because without it, you will keep snapping in and out, snapping in and out. By the end of the month, when you check yourself, probably you're scoring 20%. But if there was a paid accountability partner, some people score up to 100%. You will
Mm.
be amazed at the kind of things you will achieve because you paid for it. Because
Sure.
most people don't value free things. Most people don't value free things. Yes, they don't value free things. And free things, you cannot get everything that you want in free things. Anything that is free, you cannot get everything that you want. If you pay an account, a person, a coach to hold you accountable, there are extra gains, there are extra things you will need to get. There are extra pushes that you will get. There are extra insights that the coach will give you that is not part of what you're paying for. I tell you. So that is the reason why paying for an accountability partner is the best sure way to go. Then measure your progress. How do you measure? Using your tracker to measure what you have put down. I've mentioned this before. So you identify the kind of habits that you need to set that vision. Number two, you create or generate a habit tracker. Number three, be committed to it. Be intentional about what you have said you will do. Number four, get an accountability partner, a paid accountability partner. Sorry, a paid accountability partner. Okay, and then the next one, measure your progress per time. Every month, come back and sit down, measure your financial progress, measure your exercise progress, measure your character progress, measure everything that you have put down that you want to do, you know, consistently, little by little, gradually, every month, measure yourself and see where you are at. Because it is where you are at that will help you to know if you're making progress or if you're retracting. If you paid an accountability partner, the accountability partner will help to assess your level of progress with you. And that gives joy. And the last one is celebrate yourself. But not when you get 20%. When you do up to 60% and above, celebrate yourself because it is not easy. So
Mm-hmm.
celebrate yourself, give yourself a treat. If it's something new that you want to buy for yourself, anything that will make you happy, if it's going to eat a special lunch for yourself, going out on a date with yourself, you can do that. If it's buying a new lipstick or lip gloss, no, something that will just make you happy.
Yeah,
Okay,
reward yourself.
and reward yourself for the effort. Reward yourself for the effort. Reward yourself for the consistency. Reward yourself for intentionality. Reward yourself for the commitment. Reward yourself for being able to sit with your accountability partner that you're paying. Because some people will still pay and they will not show up. So, with this, I hope that you have been able to get some insights on how you can build a habit that serves your vision.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much, Constance.
Thank
Yeah, you
you.
said
Thank you for the opportunity.
uh, thank you. You've said quite a lot, and I believe we have a lot to take away from this session. One thing I want to um, is it kind of point out also is that most times a lot of people don't have problems setting goals. We can
Is the easiest part.
1,001 goals, but we don't realize we also have to build the habits that will help us sustain those goals. One,
Yes,
and then
yes.
two, you have to not just set goals, but set goals that align with your ultimate vision, with the ultimate purpose.
Vision.
Yeah, because I
Exactly.
found that when you set goals that align with maybe a bigger picture, that ultimate why that you have for your life,
Mm,
it's easier for you to
mm,
build the habits. It's easier for you to sustain it. But when you just
yeah.
fix goals that are temporary, let me use
Great.
that word,
Yeah.
you can easily forgo them and do any other thing. So that is essential for us to one, build habits. Don't just set goals and then expect the goals to work themselves out.
Work
You
them
don't.
out. Yeah.
You don't. You have to build the habits that will sustain the goals. No, we like this we live in this microwave society where we want it express 5 seconds.
Fast, fast, sharp, sharp. They will
It,
tell you the world is moving. What are you still waiting?
yes, but you have to build habits. You have to
Yeah.
build habits. We were talking about working out. I try to go for a walk every morning, but to help me, I had to bring out my workout clothes and keep it where as I wake up, I'm seeing it. Because if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not seeing that workout clothes, I'm not going to sleep the extra 5 minutes,
I'm
But
telling you.
when I wake up, I see it. So my mind is already, even the days I'm like, oh my God, I have to go for a walk. The clothes
mm.
remind me.
Is there looking at you? Exactly.
So I will get up, put it on, and go.
Mm.
You know, many a time, we have to figure out what works for us.
Exactly. Yeah.
For another person, bringing out the workout clothes might not work. You have to figure out
Mm.
what works for you. There are some
What
things,
works?
yeah, there's some habits I build, and what works for me is to set an alarm on my phone.
Uh-huh.
And I do that. I set the alarm. Sometimes I was with some people the other day, and my alarm began to ring on my phone. The first one rang, and I did what I had to do. No, that one was for prayer. This stay prayed
Okay.
up. Mhm.
Stay, yeah, stay
Yeah, so
prayed up.
the first one rang, and I turned it off. The person was still around I think it was like 3 hours later when the next alarm on the phone rang. I put it off again and in my mind said my prayer. The person was like, what is that thing happening on your phone? The first one, I had to explain. I said, "So this is my way of reminding myself to pray for my children, pray for my husband. If I don't do it later and I wait till I have 1 hour, 3 hours to do it, I
mm.
will not.
To not work.
Yes, I might never find the 1 hour anywhere, but because
Exactly.
the day, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, my phone will make a noise. It will remind me, even if I'm talking to people at that point, in my mind, I'm
Mm.
saying a quick prayer for whoever that
Yeah.
thing is for. So we need to find what works for us, each person. What
Mm.
is that thing
Mm.
that will help you do the things you need to do? Sustain the habits that will help you achieve your goals. Find what
Mm.
works.
Very, very important.
Find what
Very,
works
very important.
and stick to it. There's I
Yeah.
saw as I was reading for this session, I saw that there was a new study they did in, I believe it was Stanford University. I think they say it's 2000 and yeah 2023 if I remember properly, and they were saying that the study shows that habits that are tied to like long-term your identity, tied to like your long-term goals, you are more likely to follow through on those habits because they are tied to a long-term goal. And it said there was a phrase I saw that I wrote it down. The phrase says your brain needs a why to sustain a what.
Wow.
So
Wow.
your brain needs a why. Why is this thing important? So that it can sustain that habit. We
That
we
you want to do.
yes, we over is it overlook now our brains and what our brains can do. This and another thing that I had talked about earlier about habits. When we talk about the habit loop, there's a cue. There is action you take, and there is a reward. That is how these things work.
mm,
This is how the brain functions. So that's why you can't just break a bad habit. You have to replace
yeah.
habit with another one. The brain is
Mm,
for the cue happens, it needs to take an action because it's expecting some kind of reward.
mm,
I talked about, I gave an example with myself with drinking coffee. Once I wake up in the morning, I'm like, I'm not quite awake. No, that's the cue for my body. The next thing is to get a cup of coffee.
oh,
I drink coffee, I'm awake, I'm alert. I can do anything at that point. That's how I feel. So for me,
mm,
when it now became a problem, the coffee was not making my BP to go high, too much caffeine. I needed
mm,
something that would still give my brain that same high of no, you are awake, you are alert, you can do anything. That is not coffee. And for a long time I tried to do tea and I would drink the tea and it doesn't give me the same feeling. So I will
mm,
coffee. I will go back for years. I will just go back to coffee. So you see that you can't just break a bad habit. You must
bad habit. Yeah,
replace
yeah.
it. Our brain is a machine that is well oiled and it
Mm,
has,
mm,
if you understand how our brains work. So some of these things are things that the Bible have been telling us for years, but we didn't understand what they meant. Now, science is proving that these things are, this is how our life is. We're accepting it now because it's science that's saying it.
yes.
But the Bible
Ah,
told us,
yeah, yeah. So,
get in his heart, so is he. We didn't believe. We didn't believe. Science has now told us that if you keep telling the brain the one thing, the brain will now
one
bring
thing.
saying to pass.
Yes.
And
Mm,
accepting it now. So
mm,
it's essential for us to align those our goals, our habits to a greater vision. That way we are more sure
mm.
to achieve them. We are more sure
Yeah,
to
exactly.
do necessary to cause those goals to pass. So thank you so much, Constance, for being here today. Yes, one other thing I remembered. Sometimes our problem is also that we have too many goals. We
Wait,
set
oh,
the
yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, yes, yes,
yeah, set one or
yes.
two and follow
Set
through with
one or two and
two.
follow through.
Yeah, follow through with that
And
one or
follow.
two. That is something the people that are in my direct one-on-one mentorship, when I say no, I don't know. I want one or two
One.
goals that you will stick to. All these 1,001 things you have told me, you won't stick to them. There's no need. Then
Mm,
pick one or two that we will focus on either this month, for the next 2 months, for the next 3 months. And as you make progress on those ones, we can add. But
mm,
that one or two, focus on it, concentrate on it. Then you will begin,
mm.
you can add to it as you go on. But
Yes,
with
yes,
10 goals you want to achieve, you will not
yeah.
focus on them and you will not sustain it. Okay, so
Exactly.
thank you once again for joining me, and I'm sure we learned something today. I'm sure many of
Yeah,
us we've learned one or two things. Please do let me know what you learned in the comment section, or you have a question. If I can't answer, she can. Constance will still answer. I will send the questions to her.
yeah, yeah.
So any question that you have, please put it in the comments. Like I said today, okay, Instagram didn't work. I don't know. Some days, all these technology things. We're supposed to be live on
Mm,
Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn and
okay,
Facebook worked, but for some, okay, and YouTube. For some reason, the Instagram link did not connect, so we're not live on Instagram, but we're live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on LinkedIn. So you can still catch
okay.
the replay on any of these platforms of this session, and no, it will be there. Okay, Facebook deletes after a while, but on YouTube, it is there forever. So you can still catch
Mm,
a replay of these sessions on YouTube. So, as I always like to end each session, let me ask us, what is one goal? Just one. I don't need 10. One goal you're going to work on between now and our next week session. Just one goal. Let me know one habit that you can build on even in this week. Let me know in the comment section, and I will be checking up on you. If you put it in the comment section within the week, I will come up back to that comment and ask how far you have been going with that goal. So thank you all once again for joining us this afternoon. Remember to make today and every day count. Be valuable
Count.
and grow. Ensure every day that you are growing. Thank you for joining us. Remember to follow
Thank
us on
you.
social media handles, every single one: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Okay, LinkedIn is my personal account. It's not Growth Habits, but still follow me on LinkedIn. And please go and buy any of our books on seller on Amazon. Our books are there.
Yeah.
Google my name. Or if you search my name on Amazon, all my books will show up there. I'll put up the link for the my seller store where you can see my books. You can see all my mentorship programs on that store, and anyone you want, you can purchase and pay for. All right. Thank you all once again, and see you next week, Tuesday, for our next session in this series. Thank you so much and have an awesome day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.